for little bits of information that lead to greater understanding, right? That's what the show was about. I mean, it was shapes and colors and letters and numbers and graham crackers and stuff. But I don't see any reason why we can't keep doing that and make it student loans and the fact that our parents are old and sick and sex, death, and taxes. I don't see any reason why we can't relate to each other respectfully like we did then, but now as adults. And that's the whole concept.
And the elevator pitch is, that there are like a million zillion podcasts that you can listen to, but ours is one that listens back, right? So you're kind of the star of the podcast. Got her. What's that?
4 minutes.
6 minutes?
All right, we're gonna throw you to the audience so I can compose myself. Tell us your name. What's your?
What did I even say?
It's your voice, man. It's soothing. It's comforting. It brings me back to a simpler time. Just you.
Oh man, she's a mess.
What's your name? Your question.
Yeah, please tell us your name.
My name's Amanda. My question is, what episode of Blue's Clues, when you were filming, stuck with you the most?
Amanda, first of all, your drip is fire. True. What's weird though, Amanda? All episodes of Blue's Clues are exactly the same in my mind, because you gotta keep in mind that I did that show on a blue screen, and it was like a blue void, and there was a camera in the room, and I couldn't see anything else except a void and a camera. So that's what they all looked like to me. It wasn't until I would see them, sometimes 6 months later, with the animation, I was like, oh my God, that's what we were doing? So that show felt very different for me than it did for you. Like for me, it felt very personal and very small. Like just like a little conversation between us in a void, right? So they all feel the same to me, but when I look back at them, I really like the one where I'm a superhero named Stripe Man. I like when I was in outer space, singing with the sun. I would say those.
Thank you so much.
Tell us your name. What's your question?
I'm Tyler. I just want to say thank you for making all of our childhood. And my question is that when you left Blue's Clues at first, how did the whole cast and you felt when you did and when you came back afterwards?
Oh. What do you mean by cast? I was the only dude on the show.
Like Joe, how did Joe feel when...
Oh, I see.
Or and the newer one too, when you met him.
Joe, whose real name is Donovan, and I were immediately troubled. And we are now the best of friends and have been forever. Like he and his family took care of me when I had COVID. I love that guy. He is, of the three of us, he's by far the coolest and smartest and funniest and nicest. That's true. But Josh, Dono, and I legit hang out all the time. Like we're actually really good friends. They are among my closest friends. And when Dono came on the show, I was like, I'm out of here. I'm done. You take care of the dog. Right? And then I went off and tried to be an indie rock star or whatever I was trying to do back then. And but when Josh came in, I was like, what are you guys doing? Can I help? Can I help? And I helped find Josh. I trained Josh. It was very Luke and Yoda. So I was shorter and balder and green and much older, like on his back as he's swinging around. And for the Josh stuff, I write, direct, produce some of that stuff, so much more involved. So the cast, we love each other. Like I wish they were here.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And tell us your name.
Hi, my name is Mackenzie.
Mackenzie,
I'm your
you look awesome.
Thank you. I'm your little sister right now. She's right here. My question is, what do you think the most impactful lesson was that you got to teach on the show?
That's a great question, Mackenzie. I know what I want it to be. Bigger crisis.
Ready.
So, I was not a child development specialist or a teacher. I was just an actor who fell into a weird job. But I became an accidental student of Blue's Clues. I became a student of Steve, really. There was a lot of lessons from Blue's Clues that are really applicable. But the one that was most important to me was the example of sitting in a chair when the information is more than you can process, and looking at someone and asking for help. Yeah. So that was no joke a big deal in my life, right? It's something I did 100 times on the show with you, but it was difficult for me to do in my real life. And once I did, there were real profound changes for me. And so that's my favorite lesson from Blue's Clues, that there's no shame in asking for help. And sometimes we need our homie to figure out what the clues mean, So I'd say that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mackenzie. All right, tell us your name. What's your question?
My name's Rachel.
Hi, Rachel.
Hello. My question is, if you had to write a letter to Steve from 1996, what would it say?
What a great question. 96, now I'm remembering Steve in 1996. You mean once the show aired or before the show aired?
Sure.
Well, which one?
When it aired. I don't know.
Okay. I would say relax, dude. I was I've talked about this in the past, but I was not aware what was going on with me, but the whole time I was on that show, I was dealing with undiagnosed severe clinical depression. Yeah, it's true. And I didn't understand that. I was a kid. I was like 20s, early 20s. Like I didn't really know what was going on with me, but I knew that my job was hard because my job was to be endlessly happy at all times. And some days that was really quite hard. But depression isn't all sadness, right? Like for me, a lot of it came out of what we now call imposter syndrome. I felt so unqualified to be on that show. I was convinced that they had the wrong guy and that I shouldn't be there and that it was supposed to be a teacher or something and that I was leading someone else's life. And so because of that, there's a lot of anxiety and like almost panic at all times about being Steve. And I would tell that dude, relax, man, you have literally the coolest job. You have no idea how cool this job is. Just embrace it. Like jump in, that's what I would tell that guy. And also see if you can convince them to give you better pants.
Thank you for your question.
Thank you.
What's your name?
Lena.
Hi.
I've seen in the episodes where they introduced paprika. How did Mr. Salt and Miss Pepper create paprika?
Tell me your name again.
Lena.
That's a good question. This is useful, right? Don't think of them as spices. Think of them as containers. Just as everything that makes you you
is what's unique inside of you. That's how it works with the condiment. All right, so think of them more as shakers than spices, because mom plus dad might equal something completely different, you know? And it's what's inside the shaker that makes them who they are and makes them special.
Thank you, Lena. Tell us your name. What's your question?
My name's Chrissy.
Hi.
And I wanted to know what Steve went to college for.
I forget what the official, what they said, but in my mind, Steve Lake studied forensic science and criminal justice, and now he's the world's shittiest detective. Like out there in the world, like trying to solve crimes, but it like still needs your help. Like, so if the blood spatter is at 47 degrees, but the bullet hole is on the east wall, who shot this guy?
Can you do the skidoo for us?
Oh, please, I know.
No.
No, you know why? Because I'm just getting over COVID, and I'm on so much Dayquil right now. I don't know what'll happen.
Thank you very much. All right, tell us your name and your question.
Hi, my name is Vivian.
Vivian?
This is my daughter, Idalia.
Hi.
We wanted to ask you a question. How was it like playing in Young Sheldon?
Oh, Young Sheldon. So I did an album when I left Blue's Clues. Nobody bought it, but the critics liked it. And I got a phone call from Steve Malaro, an email from Steve Malaro. He was a showrunner on Big Bang Theory, wrote most of that show, and created Young Sheldon. And he sent me an email, and he's like, bro, I want to use your song as the theme song to the spin-off of the Big Bang Theory. And I didn't respond to the email, because I was like, that's not a thing. And then he called me, he's like, idiot, can you come to LA and record this song? So I did, and he and his family are just wonderful. We all kind of became friends. And he was like, if I write you a little part, will you come to LA and hang out? You know, so like that's the way that happened. So it was really just an excuse to hang out with Steve. And yeah, it's great. And that cast is wonderful. They really are like a family. And they really are just lovely, lovely people. And a lot of fun is the answer to that, hanging out on Young Sheldon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your question. All right, next question. Tell us your name. What's your question?
Hello, my name is Victoria, and my question.
That's so cute.
I'm not the one asking so. Anyway, so my question is: so you've met many fans throughout your career. What's your most favorite and/or memorable fan interaction you have so far?
Get ready. It's a true story. I know that I'll get through this one. I'm already gonna cry. I was in Pittsburgh, and this dude came through my line. He was like, hey man, you know, he's like 30 or something. He's like, hey man, you remember me? I'm like, dude, I meet so many people, I'm sorry. And he handed me a picture, and he was the third Make-A-Wish I ever did. And he was sick. And he was like, I made it. I was like, that's the And not that that's even a story about me personally in any way. It's like, holy crap. Like, that's like a miracle, A, and B, that we got to reconnect in some way after all those years. It just seemed like, oh, this is a little moment that like shot out of the sun from heaven on a beam for us to be in right now, you know. Like, that's my favorite.
That's my favorite word.
Thank you for your question. We're good for now.
Hello.
Hey, I like your hair.
Oh, thank you. My name is Logan. It's an honor and a pleasure. I just wanted to ask if you were to recommend a movie to someone who loves movies and might have seen many, many movies, what would you recommend?
Oh, films? Like, one that everyone kind of sleeps on from the 70s. I love like the 70s filmmaking. I love that era. But one that everyone sleeps on is Rocky. That is such a good, it's my favorite, but that is such a good film. Because the other ones are kind of ridiculous. But that first one is excellent, heartbreaking, you know, kind of sappy, kind of overly sentimental, but like beautiful film. And only vaguely about boxing, you know? I love that movie from that era. I also like Cool Hand Luke is a go-to for me. That's a really beautiful film. Yeah, those are the two. That's probably 1 and 2. I like Paul Thomas Anderson's films a lot. I'm a fan. Yeah, that's...
Okay, excellent answer.
How about you?
Interstellar would probably be one of the top ones.
Interstellar, without that soundtrack, I don't know if that's a good movie. I'm serious. I mean, obviously McConaughey is so good in that one scene, and there's like a couple of great moments, and the water planet with Tars is like so good. But the plot of that movie is pretty bad. Yeah, it's like, this makes no sense. Like, literally, I'm trying not to pay attention to the science, and this makes no sense. But the soundtrack to that film is my favorite part of that film.
Yeah, I would say that too. Or Jurassic Park is another great one.
Yeah, good.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm EJ.
Hi, AJ.
I was wondering, one of the main things that I learned was small bits of sign from
Yeah.
Blue's Clues. I still use thank you. Sorry. Did you ever learn any more afterwards?
I don't sign. The deal with that was Angela Santanero, who created Blue's Clues, she's a genius. She would always say, like, look, if we have a thesis for the show, like imagination or something, if that's the word I'm going to keep trying to teach, it should have a repeatable physical gesture, right? That's one way that preschoolers learn. And so I'd be like, imagination or something. And then we realized, what's American Sign Language for that? I bet it looks like that, right? And so I was like, oh, there are a million places where we can underscore and emphasize and highlight our curriculum physically and also be communicating in another language. And so I just ran with that. I just hired a consultant and we would just mark up the script.
That's awesome.
And we immediately were like, oh, thank you, help. We're like, oh, this is great, you know. But I don't sign.
Oh,
Yeah, I wish I did. It's a beautiful language.
it really is.
And I'm Italian, so I'm like always signing.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
I'm Melissa. So you had mentioned earlier, you were saying how like the message that you want people to take away from Blue's Clues would be, you know, to ask people for help and stuff. And very briefly, but I mentioned earlier that like, I had a very traumatic year last year. I had to like hold on to that lesson very firmly to get myself through it. And then I went into this year being like, I need to meet Steve Burns, I need to meet Veronica Taylor. These people pretty much kind of like laid the foundation for me to become as strong as I was to get over the obstacles that happened last year, you know, asking for help, being inquisitive, maintaining my creativity and such. And I guess this comes down to my question being, who or what has inspired you to, you know, have your own outlook in life? Like I look at, you know, when you post on social media and stuff, like, I know just social media, but your own views of the world, like what was your foundation that created you? Sorry, big one.
My first hero in life was Rocky. You know, but not that he's like a guy who beats people up, but that he was a guy who thought very little of himself, right? But discovered something
he unleashed a Balrog within himself. Like, he discovered something indomitable inside of him that just would not be defeated, right? Just wouldn't. And this idea that this bum, you could just knock him down. You couldn't because of his heart, right?
Make me cry.
Yeah, no, that movie is so good. You know, he loses the fight. Well, spoiler. But he wins the movie. It's so good. That was my first hero, and that's part of what Cool Hand Luke is about too. I've now realized. But also my dad. You know, my dad was a very quiet guy, kind of hard to know. You know, very deep voice, and he almost never spoke. But when he spoke, it was a big deal. And he just kind of walked the walk. You know, he was always out there, like, doing stuff for other people. He lived a life of service, you know, and never spoke about it, ever. Right? It was never about, look what I'm doing. It was about, you know, these are the things we should do. And the older I get, the more, at least from a kid's TV point of view, it's Fred Rogers. You know, I take every opportunity I can to tell people that I'm nothing like Fred Rogers, because I am nothing like Fred Rogers, right? That dude was a singular bodhisattva saint on earth who should be on our money, right? I'm just a regular, screwed up, deeply flawed person like everyone else, right? But I think even he would be into that, like, the idea that we are all messed up, but we all are immeasurably wonderful at exactly the same time. You know, yeah. Those are the people that I dig, and I've got authors and thinkers and philosophers. I like a guy named Thomas Burton a lot. I read a lot of him, but yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for being the flawed human individual that you are, so that we all flawed human individuals know that we can do it too.
Yeah, right on. I love that. That's
What's your name?
I'm Sydney. I grew up with Blue's Clues, and then after I watched your season of Blue's Clues, I went on to watch Blue's Room, and I was like, as a kid, I was like asking, "Hey, Mom, where's Steve?"
I'm telling Joe.
And then I watched the entirety of Blue's Room,
Yeah.
looking for you.
Yeah. Nope.
And I couldn't find you, and I
No
was
Steve.
really sad. And I just wanted to know your opinion on Blue's Room.
I haven't seen much of Blue's Room. That was a very different aspect of Blue's Clues. Like, that was a different production company, different people, because it was puppets, right? A lot of really good puppeteers on that show. A lot of Sesame Henson kind of people on that show. All I know from behind the scenes is that puppets are expensive and hard to shoot. I know that was not an easy show to shoot. Not that being on a blue screen was easy, but I didn't see much of Blue's Room. I saw a little bit of it. I was like, Blue is speaking English. I'm out. These are not my clues. And I'll be honest, it looked a little bit to me like this is a way for them to sell more consumer products. Like, they're literally making the stuffies come to life. Like, I see what you're doing. You know, that's the real.
Thank you.
So I'm not saying I'm not being self-righteous if I've gotten a piece of the consumer products. Like, let's do some Blue's Room. That looks like a great idea.
What's your name?
My name is Julian.
Hey, by the way, I saw your approach as you walked up to the chairs. It was smooth. Did anyone else see it? It was good. There, that was it.
Yeah, so my question, because I noticed when I was going back through the show, there's been quite a couple of like guest stars and stuff. Like apparently Ray Charles was the voice of G-Clef.
No, yeah. Can you believe that?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That was insane. We couldn't believe we landed Ray Charles. Really, wait, what? Yeah, that was my favorite guest star for sure.
Oh, dang, you just answered the question. I was going to ask, who was your favorite guest star?
Ray Charles.
This is Ray Charles, right? Like, so we were in LA, and we're just gonna like get his voiceover parts and get him to sing a song, right? And he shows up at 11 o'clock in the morning, and he's got the whole script printed out in Braille. He's got my lines memorized. He's got his lines memorized. He's in the middle of like a 2-month chess game with his assistant. He had like a little chessboard that's like pegs, and his assistant's like, "We don't let Ray win, but no one can beat him." Right? And he showed up and he sings the song, "Music makes me move," and he's doing the whole thing. We're like, and he just stops and he's like, wait. Who's the piano man? Who's the guy playing the piano? And the guy who wrote that song was Mr. Salt, right? And he's in the back. He's like this little guy. He's like, that's me, Mr. Charles. He's like, what did you do after the C7 chord? You know E minor or what? He's like, yes, I did. He's like, you mind if I play that? That looks fun. Can I play it? So we mic'd up a piano for Ray Charles. And we're like, holy shit. And he sits down at the piano and he played so hard that all the levels were like, we had to move the mics way back. He's like, you gotta understand, man, like when I came up, I had to be louder than the drums because there were no amplifiers then. And it was pure magic. I still have goosebumps thinking of working with Ray Charles, man. That was crazy. And Rue McClanahan was cool too. And Marley Matlin. We had some good ones, but Ray Charles was nice.
Yeah, Tyrese on there too.
Yeah, Tyrese. I didn't really work with him, but yeah, Tyrese.
Thank you.
Hi, tell us your name. What's your question?
My name is Jose.
Hi, Jose.
Yeah, I know you was in the commercial of the Dunkin' Donuts.
Dunkin' Donuts commercial. Did I do a Dunkin' Donuts commercial?
Yes, 1990.
Oh, dude.
And do you remember the line for it?
Nope.
Okay, you check on the YouTube.
I'm not gonna.
Okay, bad memories for that.
Thank you, Jose.
Thank you.
I forgot about that.
You don't remember it at all? No.
Hi,
Hi, tell us your name, please.
my name is Zach, and I'm sorry if I stumble over my words a bit. I'm bad at talking. Anyway, sorry for the feedback. Thank you, Steve, for being a part of our childhoods and making them richer.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I do have a question for you. What life lesson have you learned that has stuck with you the most?
Well, specifically for Blue's Clues, there's the asking for help thing, right? But there's also, it was my job, like, it was the actual gig to stand in front of that camera on the blue screen and cultivate an authentic sense of wonder. Because I wonder where this is, I wonder where this is. And digging for that every day is a good practice. That is an excellent life practice. Yes. What's that?
It's not a bad lesson to take away. Find wonder in the little things.
I agree, yeah. I always say bring your wonder to work.
Cool.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much. Hi, tell us your name.
I am Lance.
Oh, hello.
So, what is your favorite character besides yourself?
Mr. Salt. I love Mr. Salt. And also side table drawer. Because she was so shy, but her whole point in life was to open up. And let's be honest, most of those characters were kind of the same character. Like, I am a shovel, I am a pail, I am a soap. Like, they were kind of the same. But side table drawer like had some stuff going on. She had like an inner struggle. Like, I liked that. I thought it was cute. Hi.
Hi, I'm Dee Dee.
Dee Dee.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
I don't think my mom will believe that I'm eating.
happening.
So you mentioned you were a rock star after
No, I didn't. Nowhere did I say those words.
Have you ever been in a mosh pit, and have you enjoyed it?
I was, yeah. Like I really loved the band Fugazi when I was in like junior high. And I was in a mosh pit a couple times, and no, I did not like it. I don't like crowds in general, and I don't like it when people are like pushing together. Like in a crowded elevator, I kind of wig out. And I think everyone else in the mosh pit was like, "This is awesome." But I was like, shit. So it was an anxious event. Do you mosh?
My first one was yesterday.
How did you do?
It was actually kind of fun. Yeah.
Can you do it?
I need a few people, but.
If we could get a mosh pit going at a Steve Blues panel, I really feel like that would be pretty awesome. So if you can get that going, Dee Dee, in the next 8 minutes and 20 seconds, you would be a real hero. I'm just saying.
Thank you, Dee Dee. Hi, what's your name?
Hi, my name's Brianna.
Hi, Brianna.
A little term from that question, but I was wondering, you were pretty young when you started blues and everything. I was wondering if you were in school or if you had a plan, if you were like aspiring actor, or if this was like totally out of left field for you and what you had expected for your life.
All of those things. I mean, when I was in college, when I was a freshman in college, I won a national acting award for best scene partner at the Kennedy Center in DC. So I was like, oh, I'm going to be a very serious actor. And that's what I was good at. That's what everyone told me I was good at, was being like the short guy, dangerous actor from the 70s, Dustin Hoffman, Al Pacino, like that. That was what I was patterning off of, and that's what I felt that I was good at. Just because that's what people were saying I could do. And this is a true story, but when I got to New York, Blues was one of the very first auditions I had. And I thought it was to be the voice of a cartoon. And when I got into the room, there was a camera, and I was like, oh no. This is to be a dude on a kid's show. And if I'm being completely honest, if I had known that, I probably wouldn't have gone. Not that I was like poo-pooing kids TV or anything. I just had no interest. I wouldn't have assumed I'd be any good at that. You know, I had long hair. I had earrings. I had a pack of cigarettes in my back pocket. That's true. When I auditioned for that show, and I was like, "There's no way. There's no way I'm getting this part." Right? And I think that had a lot to do with why I always felt miscast. You know, the script in the audition, when I read it, it was sort of like a game show, like almost like The Price is Right or something, right? Which one is the triangle? And for some reason, I was like, oh no, I'm gonna act this really hard. So I got like super close to the camera, and I was like, which one is it? Like I got like really intense about it, you know? And I don't think that's what they had in mind, you know? Because I remember looking at Angela, the creator of the show, she was like, but then they called me and they were like, that was really strange. And we really liked it. Can you do it again? You know, so yeah, so it was very much of a left turn for me. My friends still can't believe that I ended up on Kids TV. They're like, that's the craziest thing. But I think that's why it worked.
Thank you. We have time for just a couple more questions. What's your name?
Hi, Steve. My name is Jordan. This is my sister Alexis, and we just wanted to say that you were my childhood hero. Like, you really inspired me a lot.
Thank you.
Of course. What was it like to work with one of the Golden Girls in the Treasure Hunt episode?
She was such a badass. She was, first of all, she at that point, Rue McClanahan was already a legend of screen theater. Like, she was a legend. And she showed up, and we were just very lucky to have someone like her on our show.
And she took good care of me. She, I was terrified to work with her. And she's sweet and like foul-mouthed and funny and like, I really wanted her to be my grandma, like for real. And she was like, down just another level up, you know. She just was so professional and lovely. Like you would love to hang out with her. She's just great in every way.
Can I ask you one more question?
No, I'm so sorry. We're running out of time. I saw a couple people. Thank you for your question. All right, next up. Tell us your name. What's your question?
Hi, I'm Dana. I don't actually have a question. I was an adult when Blue's Clues came out, but I was the mother of 2 toddlers. And so they loved your show, and so I loved you for that.
Thank you.
I was a young, exhausted mother of twins, and my children watched the show, and they called pajamas magentas for years, and I never corrected them because that was very cute. And so, as a mom, I just wanted to say thank you for being entertaining enough to give this young mother 20-minute breaks every day.
My pleasure. Thank you. And I'll get you my Venmo.
Thank you so much. Next question.
What was the funniest outtake or blooper that you had on set?
Nope. I will tell you this, though. There was an associate producer whose job it was to destroy my outtakes every day. Because I have a sailor mouth real bad. I always have my whole life. I got that from my mom. And I would just be like, which where is it? Because like I was the only actor in every take of every shot, every day. There's a lot of pressure, you know, and if you screwed one up, everyone have to do it again, and like, it was bad. Damn it, Blue, where is it? Tell me. Yeah, it was like that.
Thank you.
Thank you for your question. So, Steve, we are winding this down before.
Cold in here.
Is it? Do you have a message that you'd like to tell the audience before we head out?
Yeah, guys, like this is cool. You know, it feels rare and special, and I can't really think of another example of, you know, we started this doing the kind of parasocial thing even before social media, before any of these things. We talked to each other through a screen in ways that felt meaningful. And the fact that we reconnected because of a viral video that did the same thing 25 years later, and we're just continuing this conversation in this way, just feels really special, at least to me, you know? And I always say that, like, even though I know intellectually that this is a room full of strangers, it feels to me like talking to an old friend. Thank you.
Of course. We love you, Steve. We gotta stand up for Steve Burns, please. Thank you so much, Steve. Thank you all for coming.
Everybody, please give a huge round of applause for Steve Burns. Now, you guys, it doesn't end here. We're going to put it on the screen. We're going to put a QR code, right? There'll be a QR code. You can take a photo of that, and you can schedule a photo or get an autograph of Steve. One more time, guys, to one of the nicest guys in the planet, Steve Burns.
I'm not really that nice.
Oh, yeah.
Not particularly.